Hi, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Plymouth. I am your host, Derek Brindisi, and your town manager. In today's episode, I have a special guest with us today. His name is Ken Stone. Ken, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I know today we have a big event that's coming up this coming Saturday called Hometown Cleanup, and you've been a part of this program for many, many years now, and we all thought collectively it'd be good to try to promote it as we head into this weekend's event. So can we kind of start and talk a little bit about what is Hometown Cleanup?
So Hometown Cleanup has been going on for over a decade now. It was originally started by the network of open space friends. In the last number of years, Sustainable Plymouth has been collaborating with them to promote it, work closely with Patrick Farah, who is the town's energy officer. He coordinates the distribution of the bags that people can use to clean up and works with the DPW for the pickups. So we have great gratitude to Patrick, because without that, this wouldn't happen. So how it works is twice a year, in the spring and the fall, we have this kind of a cleanup. Information on how to get involved is available on the Sustainable Plymouth website. That's sustainableplymouth.org. You click on the events tab. From there, it'll bring up a calendar. You go to May 13th, and at that site, you can get all the contact information that you need. So the way it works is you need to sign up if you want to get involved. You need to sign up with Patrick. You can contact him by email or call him at the planning department. We've been collecting names and groups right along. We have about 49 groups in town.
So
at
40,
this point.
if I could jump in there. So
Sure.
49 different groups throughout town
Throughout
have
town.
already signed up for this program this coming Saturday, May 13th. And those groups, it sounds like they're volunteering maybe for their neighborhood or where they live to go in their neighborhood and clean litter, correct?
It can be in their neighborhoods. People can go wherever they want. If people don't have a good idea of where to go, we have a list of hot spots, if you will, throughout town. We have the list of the groups. If people don't want to go out individually and they don't have a group of their own, they can join a group. And again, you can get all that information at this point from Patrick downtown.
And so Patrick Farah, he works for the planning department. He does a lot of great work, especially in this arena. You can also go on, just so folks are aware, you can also go on the town's website at www.plymouth-ma.gov to also register for Hometown Cleanup as well through Patrick Farah.
Excellent.
One thing, you and I were talking before the show began, just about now the spring is here, people are outside, they're starting to see litter and debris throughout the streets, the sidewalks, in the neighborhoods. And folks are contacting Town Hall and they're saying, hey, this neighborhood, the street, it needs to be cleaned up. And what we're trying to say is contact Patrick, contact Ken Stone, because Hometown Cleanup is coming, and we really want these folks that are reporting their concerns to the town to be a part of the solution, and not just say, hey, DPW, go clean this neighborhood up for me.
Absolutely. And there's so much litter in town that it would be hard for any one group to cover it all. So the more we know about it, the more we can get people out there. And with the volunteers, we can take some of the pressure off the DPW as well.
Yeah, and we have some would say, well, you have 130 DPW employees, which is a lot of individuals, but we have the 104 square miles that we have to cover. And we're the biggest town in Massachusetts, and we do need the help of all of our volunteers, not only just in this area, but in all the things that we do. So we appreciate Hometown Cleanup in the spring and the fall. So this is a good opportunity for folks to get involved in what we're trying to do as a community.
It's a great way to give back, and you can work an hour, you can work half a day, it's whatever you're willing and able to commit.
So what's the time frame? Is there a time frame on when this is going to take place?
Well, it's pretty much up to the groups, but we'd like people to be finished by 1 o'clock, something like that.
Okay.
Because at that point, we'll be going around collecting some bags, et cetera. By the way, it's important when you do sign up that you let Patrick know where you're going to be cleaning and where you're going to be leaving the bags. Otherwise, the DPW will miss some bags,
And
they'll
so
be
when they
happy
sign,
with that.
when they sign up for an area that they want to clean up, they receive these purple bags, right?
Correct.
And then it's those purple bags that we asking our volunteers to fill up, leave on the side of the road, and then our DPW forces will go pick up those purple bags either that afternoon or the following day.
Right, and we need obviously to know where these purple bags are. And you can get the purple bags from Patrick downtown.
Good, great. So that's great. Hometown Cleanup this coming Saturday, May 13th. But before we move on to our next guest, there's been a lot of conversations, Ken, around a lot of the littering of these nip bottles. And I know that yourself, working with the Open Space Committee, are entertaining the conversation of creating a bylaw around how we handle nip bottles.
Well, a number of years ago, we created a bylaw around plastic bags,
Yes.
which we saw everywhere. And at this point, you don't see them anymore. It worked very, very well. When you look around, and we've noticed this before as well, nips are everywhere. In Plymouth, they did a nip audit and found that 34% of all their litter were the small miniature liquor bottles. And in Gardner, which is a town 1/3 the size of ours, they don't do cleanups twice a year. And they had one that went on for a month. They picked up 50,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So we think that's a major piece of the litter problem in Plymouth and in Massachusetts, for that matter. So rather than rely on our impressions, we are doing a waste audit, and we are focusing on the NIPS, which are the 50 milliliter small liquor bottles and the 100 milliliter quarter a pint bottles. And we're going to take a look and see, is it really as big a problem as we believe it is? And if it is, then we will probably move forward with a bylaw to try to do for NIPS what we did for the plastic bags.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I can tell you, I was talking to David Gould, our Director of Environmental Affairs, just this past week about NIPS, and they just completed the Seaside Trail Extension project over at Nelson Park, and he told me during the cleanup period of just this little stretch in the woods, they filled up multiple trash bags just with nip bottles alone, nothing else, just multiple trash bags of nip bottles. So clearly there's a problem in the community, and it's great under your leadership with Open Space Committee to try to address that problem.
Well, thank you. I hope we can.
Well, thank you, Ken, for coming on.
Okay, thanks for having us.